You actually have a court order that orders Mr. Smith to pay child support to Miss Smith?
Yes.
You do? No offense, your interpretation is not the same thing as me reading it specifically from the court order, okay?
So he doesn't owe me child support?
Not after May 21st, not after May of 2021, he doesn't. Whatever he owed
I
you
still
prior.
have Matthew.
Mr. Smith, where are you working?
I'm working at Excel Mulching in Carthage, Texas. Well, that's where their office is.
How much are you making per hour?
Making 25 an hour.
And how many hours a week do you work?
I've only been working 50 for last month or so.
Were you working at Excel Mulching at the time of the last order in 2019?
I'm not sure what order that was.
I want to pretty much non-suit the modification and just get a confirmation of arrears.
Do you actually have a court order that orders Mr. Smith to pay child support to Miss Smith?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, Your Honor.
When was that signed?
That was signed November the 20th of 2019.
All right. Let's see if you actually have that. I got a court order signed by the judge on September the 11th of 2019. In this court order, it says that apparently there was some earlier custody issues between Mr. and Miss Smith and some third parties.
Yes, sir.
All right. So in this new custody issue from 2019,
The new custody.
that's okay, Miss Smith. Just I've got the paperwork right in front of me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't. No offense, your interpretation is not the same thing as me reading it specifically from the court order. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there were two children in the court order, Gracie and Matthew. Miss Smith was named as the primary joint managed conservator. Mr. Smith was named as a possessory conservator. Amended order, it said that he was supposed to pay her $750 a month.
Yes, sure.
You got a problem in this case, Miss Leonard, a big problem.
Okay.
This child support ended as soon as Grace graduated from high school. Mr. Smith, when did Grace graduate from high school?
2020, I believe.
Okay. So that means her child support would have ended in October of 2020, even though she graduated 4 or 5 months before that. All right. And unfortunately, your pay record is also incorrect, Ms. Hill Leonard, because your pay record continues this child support, which should have stopped on October the 30th of 2020.
Okay.
I mean, you started.
The state does ask for the modification, and we'll just have to get the pay record fixed.
Yeah,
at a later date.
You obviously have the right to start it up again because you have a child that's still under 18.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't.
We have to fix the pay record for the confirmation.
Not that, but you got to fix that court order from 20.
Yeah.
Miss Smith, I have reviewed all of the prior court orders in this case, and there is a major problem with the court order that was done in 2019. Okay. You see where it says that Mr. Barry Glenn Smith Jr. is supposed to pay you $750 a month beginning October the 1st?
Yes, sir.
You see right there where it has the number 1. You see where it has. You see where it has
the child reaches 18 years of age, because I have two that are now 18.
Well, yeah. Well, the problem is, you see where it says any child reaches. You see where that says by 1.
All
right. That means when any of the 2 children you had from this court order ages out, his child support stops.
Well, that's why I haven't been getting any.
It may be. I just know that the court order says what it says. So Mr. Smith's child support should have ended in October of 2020 when Grace turned 18.
Well, she didn't graduate till May.
Oh, she didn't graduate till the next May 2021?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then it should go through May of 2021, but it's supposed to stop then.
But why I get, why was it written like that? I guess is my question.
I don't know. I'm not the attorney who wrote it, so I don't know why it was written that way.
Okay. So he doesn't owe me child support?
Not after May 21st, not after May of 2021, he doesn't. Whatever he owed you.
I still have Matthew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The court order, the way this court order is written, he's not ordered to pay you child support for that child.
Do you mean I have to go back to court?
No, they've got a modification now. I can fix this today.
Because that's not fair that I know that Grace aged out, but Matthew has not aged out.
I agree. It's not fair, but I can't change the court order in the past, Miss Smith. All I can do is fix it from this point forward.
So all these months Barry doesn't owe me anything.
He doesn't owe you anything from May.
Right.
He doesn't owe you anything from June of 2021 until now. There was no child support ordered for that period of time. I don't agree with it, but I can't go back in time and fix it, Miss Smith. The law doesn't allow me to do that. And unfortunately, your pay record is also incorrect, Ms. Hill Leonard, because your pay record continues this child support, which should have stopped on October the 30th of 2020.
Okay.
It's crazy how many people forget child support is for the child, not the mom. This mother's reaction just proves she looks at child support as a job instead of what it is actually intended for. Too many women really want spousal support disguised as child support.
Miss Smith,
Yes.
just to make sure, you said that when did Grace graduate?
I don't know. She was born in 2002, so 21 probably is how that works. That's when, and it was in May when she graduated.
Okay.
You don't owe me nothing.
All right. Well, it's here, so I need to try to get it fixed and worked out. Ms. Smith, I have just placed on the record a copy of the pay record in your case with Mr. Smith. The court is going to note on the record that the court order from 2019 did change custody of the children and gave the children back to Ms. Smith. However, the court order ordered Mr. Smith to pay child support until any of the two children graduated, which is a problem because there's a pretty good difference in the ages between the last two children, that being Grace and Matthew. So the way the court order is written, that would mean when Grace emancipated, Mr. Smith's child support effectively terminated. Now, Miss Smith said that she thinks that Grace graduated in 2021. Mr. Smith, do you agree with that? Do you think she graduated the year after she turned 18, which is pretty normal?
Actually, she dropped out of public school and she finished.
She still got a
Hold on,
high
Miss
school
Smith,
diploma.
Miss Smith, don't interrupt. All right,
Tell him to tell the facts.
Well, Miss Smith, if you give me a chance, I'll come back to you and let you answer the questions your way, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Smith, you said she dropped out of high school. When did she drop out of high school?
2020. I'm almost positive she graduated when she was 2020.
Miss Smith, do you know whether or not Grace dropped out of high school?
Yes, we went out of public school and we went to a homeschool where I paid
Okay.
for her education, and that's how
Okay.
she.
When did she drop out of public school?
I believe she went her whole senior year to private homeschool.
Okay. So you don't think that she was enrolled her last year in school in a public school?
No, sir, she wasn't. It was through a private school.
Okay. Why did it take the state so long to get Miss Smith to cooperate with their lawsuit?
Because I went to the actual place in Port Arthur or somewhere down there where I'm regioned at to go to the office, and they said I didn't have to do anything, and so I don't know. I'm just now getting emails to do this, so I don't know. I mean, I didn't even request this, so I don't know. What do you mean it's taking me so long?
Well, and this is a lawsuit, Miss Smith, where the state of Texas the AG's office represents themselves. They don't represent either you or Mr. Smith. So
Yes, sir.
in a modification suit, I have the right to go back all the way back to the date the parties were served to start this child support again. Unfortunately, Miss Smith, you were not served with this case until September the 28th of 2022. That means I can't start the child support again until October the 1st of 2022. How did you say that Matthew was covered for insurance, Miss Smith?
Texas Medicaid.
Okay. And Mr. Smith, do you have any other children besides Matthew?
Grace and
that are
Barry.
still underage.
These are my only 3 children.
Anything further from the state?
I know, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Smith, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
All right. Look, y'all, this is real complicated. You didn't make it complicated. It's not your fault. I didn't make it complicated. It's not my fault. The AG's office didn't make it complicated. It's not their fault. All right. There's a bad court order in this case from 2019 that needs to get fixed. Okay. So I'm going to fix what I can. And that's what I'm going to do today. The court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find that based on the testimony of the parties and all of the exhibits that have been admitted into evidence, as well as the prior court orders in this case, I'm going to find that as of her birth date in the year 2020, child support terminated. She was not fully enrolled in a accredited high school education program that allowed for child support to continue past her 18th birthday. Homeschools generally are not accredited. It takes special type of licensing to get accredited.
Why?
Ms. Smith, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me, Ms. Smith. Okay. I know what the law is in regards to this issue. And unfortunately, homeschooling is not considered an accredited high school diploma. So the child support is going to terminate as of October of 2020. The judgment will be granted as of the end of that month, and I'll find that Mr. Smith was behind in his child support the amount of $1,710.34, behind in his medical support the amount of $25. Effective November the 1st of 2020, child support terminated based on the court order from 2019. That's how it was written. That's how it has to be interpreted. There's no room for me to maneuver within that court order to start Mr. Smith's child support for the last 2 years. I don't have the ability to do it, but I can start it up now. And I am going to start it up now. Starting October the 1st of 2022, Mr. Smith is ordered to pay Crystal Smith the amount of $765 a month in child support. I'll order Ms. Smith to maintain the health insurance that she has on the child, and he will be ordered to pay an additional $150 a month in cash medical. Mr. Smith will pay back the judgment that he owes for child support by paying an additional, let's say $30 a month on the child support, and we'll say $5 a month on the medical support for those amounts. Those will also begin October the 1st of 2022. Mr. Smith will be responsible for court costs, but I'll give him until May 31st of 2023 to pay my court costs. Miss Smith, Mr. Smith, I wish you both the best of luck. I wish there was
How much
something
is he
else.
behind?
I'm sorry.
What was the amount that you said he was behind?
As of October the 31st of 2020, according to this pay record that I have, he owes $1,710.34 in child support and $25 in medical support.
Your Honor, what about the child support that was paid since the child support was
You'll have to take
terminated?
that up with the Attorney General's office, Mr. Smith. I don't have any jurisdiction, Mr. Smith, to order the AG's office to do stuff with money. Once
Yes,
they
sir.
get the money in their hands, they do with it what they wish. That's a federal law.
She wouldn't be that upset about child support if it was going to the child. She seems to have been using it herself. The kid is 18, not an infant, and she will still get child support for the other children. Those tears tell me she has been spending money she didn't have. Also, Dad should be reimbursed and definitely needs to get that sorted. Was this the right decision? Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, subscribe for more videos just like this. And I'll see you next time.